For surely the hand of the Lord was with him. The Gospel of the Lord. Question: when you first see your child, what was in your mind? Your firstborn. Okay? So there might be around 100 answers. And those who will eventually become parents, upon looking at, that won't be the case. Because sisters and brothers, the world and the way things are happening, it appears that having a child becomes a burden rather than a blessing. Potential. And I think the question of the community, who in the beginning of this story, before that annunciation or the becoming pregnant for Elizabeth, they took them as cursed couple because they have no child. But the same community is now also asking, what will this child be? And that's also where I am coming from when I said, that question basically is a question that now brings the positive outlook. There is a potential in this child. And I think this is where we should be looking at every life. That a life is not a problem to be solved, but rather a potential to be discovered. The second point that I would like to bring the question of, as our theme suggests, we only have one mission. And what is that mission? Why we are here? Why we want to become holier than yesterday? Why we want to do as much as possible the good things in our life? My hope that we make ourselves busy, like this time of season, Advent, Christmas is very near. What preparations are we doing right now? Are these preparations so that others may find God in their lives? And finally, sisters and brothers, how many of us here almost completed the 9-day Simbang Gabi? You're like a shy community. Now, you don't want to claim that now I have completed these 9 days. Because I think there's one simple message. We do all these sacrifices despite our busy schedule because this is not a simple gathering, but rather this is a gathering for which we try to pray. And that preparation is basically emanate from that prayer. In other words, prayer is the heart of all that we are doing in Simbang Gabi. We spend 1 hour or more in order to pray. The Eucharist is basically a form of prayer, the highest form of prayer. And this is what makes this Simbang Gabi extra special. That we come together in prayer as our preparation for the coming of the Son of God, because we want that our life may become a preparation not only for ourselves, but more so that we become stars, lights for others to find God. In other words, I am proposing these 3 P's for our reflection this evening. And what are those 3 P's? If you are going to summarize, let's begin with the last one, prayer. St. Francis said, our founder, we should not only become a man or a woman of prayer, but we should become prayer. That's the first. Second, that we look at our life as a preparation. Nothing is finished. There's always something we can do better with our life. And finally, let us look at everything as potential. That there is something good why God gave the gifts we have, especially life, to each one of us. So as we continue with our celebration this evening, sisters and brothers, the story of Elizabeth, giving birth to John, naming him John, and especially the question of the community should bring us to that reflection. Look at things from its potentiality, make things as a preparation for God and for others, and do things in prayer.